What if the greatest measure of your leadership isn't what you achieve, but rather someone that you empower goes on to achieve? I'm Jason, I'm the leadership guy, and I'm here to help you become a better leader. True leadership isn't about holding on to control, it's about empowering others. And when people feel trusted and given ownership, they don't just do their jobs, they achieve extraordinary results. Some time ago, I learned of an incident where a guest staying at a hotel, to his absolute horror, suddenly realized that he had lost his ring. Yeah, that's a toughie. So, of course, he walked back and forth, up and down, looking for the ring. Didn't find it. So he went and reported it. And somebody, staff members in the hotel, came out immediately and they helped him look. Sadly, they didn't find it either. But at the end of the day, when all the guests had left the beach, some staff members were walking up and down that beach with metal detectors in hand. And guess what? They found the ring. And then they presented it to him at breakfast the following morning. And of course, as expected, he was absolutely overjoyed. Wonderful experience. Here's the question. Where did those metal detectors come from? Did the hotel just have some metal detectors in the closet somewhere in storage just waiting for some guest to lose the ring? No, they didn't. Those metal detectors were bought that day by the staff members. But how is it that they could do that? It turns out that that particular hotel had a standing policy. Any of their staff members can spend up to $2,000 to rescue a guest experience without even having to ask permission from one of their managers. Yet, they were empowered to act. Don't miss this. What's powerful here is that empowerment multiplied the impact. That ring wasn't saved by one manager's decision, not at all. In fact, the manager likely wasn't even involved. The ring was saved by the employees who felt empowered. When people feel trusted and empowered, they act. They save the day. They created a wonderful experience for that guest, and that guest left there feeling relieved and clearly would have been singing the praises of that hotel. Now, what's interesting is that also applies to any organization where an employee is empowered. Whether it is a company, a church, a community organization, whatever it is, where people feel empowered, they take ownership and then they go on to produce extraordinary results, just like happened in the case with the hotel and that guest. So, true leadership isn't about holding on to power, it's about giving it away in a way that equips others to thrive. When people are empowered, they grow. If you want to empower others and multiply your leadership impact, start by giving them trust and ownership. And here are 3 simple ways to do that. Here's the first one. Trust them with responsibility before they are fully ready. Yeah, I know that sounds like, yeah, as a leader, you really don't want to be handing responsibility to people to do things that it doesn't seem like they're 100% ready. Yeah, I know. But that's how people grow. We have to hand them responsibility to let them take on things, tackle challenges that are actually outside of their ability. That's going to cause them to stretch. You have to stretch and reach for it. Growth doesn't take place when in the areas where things are comfortable. Growth takes place outside of the comfort zone. If you are comfortable, you are not going to be growing. You grow when you are being continually stretched. You have to reach for things that are just sometimes outside of your comfort zone and outside of your reach. So, as a leader, you want to empower people, you need to share responsibility with them, give them things to do, take on responsibility even before they are 100% ready. Here's a second way to empower people. Share the decision making. Don't hold it all to yourself. Let the people that you are seeking to empower make decisions. Yeah, not just some trivial thing. let them weigh in on decisions that count. No, you don't want to put things that are absolutely mission critical. And if this is off by a hair, that the whole thing is going to crash. No, you don't want to do that. Right. But recognize that even when people are given responsibility for making small decisions, even small decisions, that helps people to grow. That helps people to build their confidence. That helps people to recognize that you have trust in them. They are going to feel empowered to go on to do that. And then when that thing works out, they will get even more confidence. So when seeking to empower people, share the decision making with them. And here's a third way to empower people. Celebrate growth, not just the results. Let me say that again. Celebrate growth, not just the results. See, I know, I understand in this environment where sometimes it's about hyper focus on performance and getting this metric and do it. Yeah, I get that. So what we're really interested in is the results and the outcome of paying it to do this and that. Yeah, I get that. I get that. But before we can actually get there, all of the high performance that we have today, all those people, yeah, they weren't always there. And they needed to achieve some things along the way, try and fail and all that kind of stuff before they could become the high performance that they are today. So celebrate the growth, not just the results. Recognize the effort. No, I'm not talking about giving people participation medals for coming in last. I'm not talking about that. That's a whole different philosophy. We want to recognize that the outcome is not the only important thing. The process is important also. Process is important. So there's that line of thinking that it's not just the destination, but it's the journey. The journey is important. And so when people are striving to do things, to achieve things, even when they fall short, even when they fail, recognize the effort. Recognize the effort. Let them know, I see you. I saw you putting in that time. I appreciate that. It didn't work out on this occasion. That's fine. We're going to go at it again. We're going to try tomorrow, next week, or next month, and you'll get even better. You may not even get it then, but you are going to get it. Celebrate the growth, not just the results. We are entire people, and it takes time to go from one place to another. That's going to take some time, but that's going to require some growth to close that performance gap. Performance gaps are closed when we grow and close the gap. And along the way, we're going to need some encouragement. So celebrate the growth of your people, even when they fall short. Now, to help you further with this, I've created a free resource called 5 Ways Leaders Empower Others. Right? 5 Ways Leaders Empower Others. The link for it is in the description box below. Please feel free. Access this, download this, use these practical tips to be able to help you empower the people and see them grow and go on even further. Now, tell me something. Think about someone in your organization, in your company, in your church, in your nonprofit, wherever you're operating. Think about someone who is ready for operating at another level, but hasn't quite been given the opportunity to do so. This week, hand some responsibility to them. Give them ownership of a task, of a project, of something, and watch them lean into it and see the growth that helps them to achieve as you continue as a leader to pour into their lives, empower your people, and raise up even more leaders. Check out this video for more help in becoming a better leader. See you next time.